Communication matters. Augmentative and alternative communication strategies are designed to make the best possible use of an individual's inherent abilities, to compensate for their individual difficulties, and thereby to make their communication as quick, simple, and effective as possible. AAC covers a wide variety of systems and techniques, ranging from signing, gesture or facial expression through pictures and symbol charts, right up to high-tech aided solutions using sophisticated computer technology.
People who are using AAC at the moment are people with cerebral palsy, children and adults, people with a learning disability, people who've had strokes, people on the autistic spectrum, people with illnesses such as motor neuron disease or Parkinson's disease or multiple sclerosis, people with head injuries. Some people at the early stages of dementia may well benefit from using some AAC type strategies.
We've been aware of communication problems with patients for many years, in fact as long as intensive care has been around, but it's only in the last few years that we've started to notice it getting harder because our patients are more awake now. We try to get people better faster, and it means that very often patients are awake with a tube in their mouth, unable to speak, just at the point in their life where they really want to say something.
If you consider that a sophisticated communication machine might have 2,000 or 3,000 phrases, bits of phrase in it, you've somehow got to pull together a sentence using any one of those phrases or bits of phrase. It takes a lot of learning to do that.
When you meet somebody with a communication difficulty, you can often think that the person is not very intelligent. We judge people on how they talk, how they interact with ourselves. However, as soon as you give somebody a communication aid and give them sufficient support and training to learn how to use that communication aid, you can quite often find that the person has lots to say.
Hi, my name is Toby. I'm 24 and live independently with a team of personal support assistants. I lead a very busy life, involved with many organizations to do with AAC. I was diagnosed at the age of 12 months with cerebral palsy, and with a great support from my parents, teachers and therapists, I eventually ended up 6 years ago with a high-tech AAC machine. I am now trustee of Communication Matters, a trustee and role model for One Voice, who set up networking and fun weekends for children who use AAC, their parents and, as importantly, their siblings. I speak at conferences and visit schools and colleges where I show a video that I made. This, I hope, will overcome barriers that people have who lack the experience of someone using AAC.
Are people ever nasty to you because of your disabilities?
I ignore them. I would not be able to do any of these things without my AAC machine. And I should know, I was 18 before I could have my first conversation with my mom and dad.
Do you like computers?
I love computers.
Been friends with Katie for I think about 8 years now. We met at school, and our relationship really wouldn't be a relationship if she didn't have a communication aid. She can use simple sign language to communicate as well, but we couldn't have our girly chats if she didn't have a communication aid.
This life of mine is fabulous. Not only do I study at university, I am involved with an inclusive theater company at staff level, I volunteer with a national organization, and I even manage to write a column in a national monthly newspaper. Also, I am well known for giving speeches and talks. None of this would happen if I was not given a communication aid. We are denied communication aids. Quite simply, we are denied the chance to be human. At communication aids have the power to make the lives of people like me not only worth living, but useful, easy and wonderful in parts.
Katie couldn't be at university if she didn't have a communication aid. It's quite simple. If she didn't have a communication aid, then she would not be able to communicate her complex thoughts, and she would not be able to demonstrate that she knows stuff and that information actually goes in.
My name's Alan Martin. I live in Morgan on the Whirl. I am a dance workshop leader, and I give performances, write my own music, and also I give disability issues presentations. What I do is not wheelchair dancing, it is creative contemporary dance. There is a very big difference. Most of what I've achieved in the last 10 years would not have been possible without an electronic communication aid. I believe that everyone can dance. We may dance differently, but it is still dance. I've decided to try working as self-employed to earn my living. I've given up most of my welfare benefits.
Hi, my name is Toby Churchill. I lost speech and most movement at age 21. I was at Bath University studying engineering when I was taken ill with viral encephalitis. After 1 year I returned home. My means of communication was an IBM typewriter. This was fine indoors, but not portable. My social life was limited. So I set to work designing a battery-operated typewriter with speech output and dual displays. To my surprise, there was a market for my invention. Here we are 30 years later, sitting in our factory of 30 people. We export worldwide. My communication aid allows me and thousands like me to live independently, giving us control of our lives. Thank you, and I must be in Los Angeles now.
Is that this technology is integrated so that when someone comes in for a communication aids assessment or a power chair assessment or an environmental control assessment, the person dealing with that person taking on that referral would actually look at all of that area of assistive technology as if they provided it all in-house, in one house. Communication aids are coming out now with English-sounding voices and voices with regional dialects in. The other exciting area is the way the communication aids can communicate themselves to other pieces of technology. They already have built-in environmental control features in them. They have Bluetooth attached to them so that they can control printers and all sorts of other things.
No one would bully me because I am the type of person who speaks up and never shuts up, and also all my friends would go after them.